What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dore back again with another podcast. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, we're going to talk about yesterday's game. We're going to talk about individual players as well. We'll talk about the usual transfer gossip. There's 24 hours left of it, so there is a lot to talk about. And yeah, mostly about yesterday's game. But if you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and get involved, people. The topics that we're going to speak to me and the panel about. And like I said, we're going to have a little bit of fun. But yeah, Forest lost on penalties, but something to be proud of and something positive. Not going to be negative because, like I said, basically it was Forest B against Newcastle first team. So, but a lot to talk about. Let's get involved. Let's get the panel in. We've got the man himself, the young version, Glenn. How you doing, Glenn?
I thought you say Rads then.
I twisted it.
Oh well. Yeah, I'm good. I'm really happy with the way that we played last night. I know the result wasn't what we wanted, but I'm looking forward to looking over the next hour about some of the highlights and some of the things that we've discovered as a result of that 90 minutes, ignoring the penalties as a result of that game last night. So yeah, positive. Looking forward to this hour.
We've got the man himself. I think he's the oldest version. The man himself, Rads.
Yeah.
How you doing, Rads?
I'm good. How about you, Ben?
Oh, I've been better.
Right.
But,
okay.
If no one's, please go and watch Rad's dad. I mean, Rad's dad, the legend. He's in the queue as well. Here he is, the man himself. Even though I'm not disappointed about last night, we gave a good account of ourselves. Looking forward to Saturday as well. Come on, you guys. He's a legend of the channel, Rad's dad. So please show some love to the man himself, Rad's dad. Like I said, people, we get involved with the podcast as well. Before we do start, let's go through the channel. There's Newcastle fan here. Good evening, Mr. Dore. I come in peace. Listen, you played your first team, we played our reserves, and shout out to all the Newcastle fans because I've always liked showing respect to Newcastle. They're one of the best fans I've heard and seen because they was all over Nottingham yesterday, and they are great fans, and I hope they do well in the Carabao Cup, and I hope we finish above them in the league. So just before I rub it in. Next, another legend, Hadi, evening, Mr. Dore and Red. Fulham fan, evening, James Dore. I want to apologise. Why are you apologising, Alan? Why are you apologising? You're actually disgraced. But I see you soon, my friend Alan. He's got a podcast. Alan's got a podcast as well. So make sure you go and follow him as well. Alan, put your link in the description so people can follow it. Another legend. Hi, Ben. First of all, hit thumbs up. Hi, Rats, and hi, Glenn. Hi, Davey. Another legend as well. And Evie, good evening, Mr. Dore, Raz, and Glenn. Hope you're well. And could join a new picture while listening. Before we do talk, Eve, she's doing a charity run as well for Footprints. So, people, please help Eve. If you do follow on Facebook or any social medias, she is doing something special for Footprints. Shout out to Lisa Fox for that. Like I said, Eve, I hope you do well. And keep doing. Make sure you do a des. Keep running as well. Glenn's running as well. So, but yeah, people show some love to Eve. I did see Eve. I told you I'd do it, and I've did it. So shout out to Eve as well. Right, let's talk about yesterday's game and a lot of positives. If I'm honest, and people in the chat, like, what players was you impressed with? I can't even see one bad name, if I'm honest. But let me get the panel in. Let's start with you, Glenn. Let's start with you again. What? It was positive, wasn't it? The whole team was positive, wasn't it?
It really was. Right from the hour or so before when we saw the team sheet. You're thinking you want to try and keep some stability from the previous two results, and you want to try and bring in some new boys potentially. But to see that there were 11 or 10 changes essentially, wasn't there? Only really Willy Bolly that's had any, or Anderson, I guess, that's had any minutes at all. Anderson starting for the first time, and Abbott, who will no doubt talk about Zach Abbott. Yes. You can say that he might have been a bit rabbit in the headlights and might have pressed when he should have stood off, and perhaps it gave them a little bit more time to press on there. And we no doubt our centre kick planning didn't really go to plan. But
18 seconds, bloody hell! 18 seconds.
But we loaded on the right hand side and fed it up the wrong person, and it just ended up coming back at us, and we had 5 players out of position. on the whole, I think from following the Bournemouth match, Dore, we were talking, Des and I, and we were saying that, you know, we bring all these players in over the summer, and you don't then see any of them. I can pretty much say that some of the reservations perhaps that some fans and certainly the manager and the coaching side certainly had about bringing some of these guys into Premier League situations were dispelled quite a lot last night as a result of the performance of a lot of the players, particularly when Elanga and Callum Hudson-Odoi were starting to tire after 60, 70 minutes in that Bournemouth match. I think knowing that Jota, Silva, who played fantastically, knowing that Sousa was really I can talk. So it was right in front of you, Rad. No doubt that free kick that swung across.
What a free kick!
Unreal. So we've certainly got some really promising players there that are going to challenge these what is perceived to be the starting 11 that everybody's suggesting will still play against Wolves on Saturday, but really shone in that relatively low pressure stakes, relatively low pressure situation, but really made a good account for themselves. And it was really fantastic to see those players, right from Zach Abbott, massive advocate of bringing young, he's 18, isn't he? Young academy talent into the squad. And what better situation to have him in there? I know Perry was also in that situation, wasn't he?
And Perry,
but having him in that squad certainly would have made a massive impact on his learning and development. So, overall, those that came in made a good account for themselves. We'll no doubt talk about Miguel. I was impressed with him. I don't think he's quite ready for a start yet. I think Sells has still got the shirt for me, but on the whole, right across the team, certainly with those changes we made on the hour and beyond, really positive going forward in terms of run out for those boys, gave them a real opportunity to play in front of the home fans, and lots of positives all over the place for me. We'll no doubt break that down as we go on tonight.
Rads, do you echo what Glenn says? I think all the players were very impressive yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we saw the team news, it was obviously quite different. Basically, a whole new team, and I was really excited about that. There's lots of players there that I was looking forward to seeing, new players, or players that may be out of favour. Especially like Zach Abbott, him getting a go was a big opportunity for him. And we mentioned there, Silva and Sousa. I think last season there was so much pressure on Hudson-Odoi and Elanga. It's like we're very fortunate that neither of them really got injured or suspended. If they had done it, I don't know who we would have played there. So it's good that we've got depth now in that position, and should really push both of them. I think both of them deserve to keep their place, but there's some real depth there now. I mean, a brilliant goal from Jota, of course.
We are going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it.
Yeah, but like you say, obviously we lost the game, but I thought after conceding so early on into the match, it knocked us at first, I thought, but then we definitely grew into it, and that was pretty good to see that we managed to regroup. And we played some really good stuff. Probably should have put a few more chances away. It just emphasises the need for a striker a bit more. Again, even though we lost, and our penalty record's now over, of course, there's lots of good to take, especially from, performances from the new lads, and even players that don't always play as much, like Omar Baladelli and Dominguez. It's good to see those lads get a go. So, the squad's looking really good, and I'm sure we're going to add a couple more tomorrow. So, yeah.
Watch out. I know Raz is doing a transfer deadline day. What time do you start that tomorrow, Raz? 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock?
7 o'clock, yeah.
I was about to do one, Glenn, with Raz, but listen to me. When Raz does one, I'm not going to do one. So make sure everyone goes.
You're not coming on. I'm on tomorrow. You're not coming on as well?
Yeah.
First appearance about 10:58.
Do you want to come with 10? Whoa, I might be released by then. Free transfer, so I might do. I'm gonna do. Watch out for my socials. I'm gonna do some funny stuff on my Instagram. So if you can, people, I'm gonna do some funny things. People leaving and all that. So watch out for that. So watch out for Rads. I might do a cheeky one for like 5 minutes. But But yeah, make sure watch out for ads. Right, let's talk about let's go through the chat before we do individual players as well, because as well, hit the like button, please. Hit the like button as well. Let me just check. Kieran, how you doing, Kieran? The only negative is that Des is in the panel tonight with Super Rad, Dad, and a Super Glenn. Why am I not Kieran? Why are you not giving me love? Why am I not getting it? This is disgraceful. But shout out to Kieran, though. Shout out to Kieran. Razdaz, folks, like, sub to Dore. Razdaz, absolutely legend as well. Peter says, hi, Dore, Rads, and Glenn. Hey, my friend Peter. Just heads up, Ben. That LOPM just landed outside my house. Let's give it back to you at the end of September. Alan, come on, man. If he is at Forest, he will score goals against you lot. Watch your back. Another one, even James, I hope you are my friend. People, if you want to be a member to my channel, please do. It helps my channel a lot as well. Right, let's talk about individual players. People in the panel get involved as well, and in the chat. Let's talk about Jota Silva. Everyone's talking about him, and yes, and as well Sousa. Let's talk about both of them. Like, Raz, let's get you first, Raz. We spoke about Cameron doing Langer now. They're now going to be stressed out now for the getting picked, because for me, them two were fantastic, but Jota Silva is more picked out after scoring his goal. Do you think Callum Hudson-Odoi and Langer should be worried for the Wolves game?
Yeah, I think as they probably said themselves, I think Elanga said in an interview, it's good that we've got competition, which is very important. And I think last season we kind of lacked that depth in quite a few areas, especially in their positions. So it's good that we've got, like I say, some depth there now, because it was just so non-existent really last year. So 4 really good wingers, and we've got other players that can play there if we really have them, if they really need to. I thought both Jota and Sousa did very well, saying it was their first ever game in English football, especially for Sousa. It could have been difficult for them, especially going 1-0 down so early on. They could have found it difficult to get anywhere with that, and struggle to get into the game. But I thought both of them looked very lively, and an awful lot to be excited about. And like we said, Sousa's set pieces. I think set pieces defensively, we already conceded one. Well, we technically did against Bournemouth. It was cancelled off, of course. But I don't think it's an issue that is gone. But I think taking Gibbs White off set pieces, and now we've got the likes of Elanga taking them, and hopefully Sousa. It's really good that we've got options on set pieces as well. So I think that's important. And obviously with Jota, brilliant goal. Just took the net out, didn't he? So fantastic strike. And hopefully we've got some good depth there now.
Let's talk about the goalkeeper. People get involved. People, because he had a good game. Let's keep it away. He had a good game. Right? I know because he's in 18 seconds. But Miguel, he pulled 2 saves, I think, from the game. I still think he can't kick yet. So he's not a good kicker. But I still feel Sells should still be number 1. But people in the chat, how do you think about Miguel? Do you think he'll be pushing Sells now? Let me get Glenn's opinion on it. What's your opinion on Miguel? People in the chat get involved as well.
Yeah, it's obviously he's very one-footed, isn't he? And he was as soon as someone stood in front of him, was standing in front of him for a while. It was putting him off a little bit, wasn't it? So that distribution that others cells, etc., have, he doesn't quite have. But his ability to stretch. We're talking about his measuring his full length right in the his top left-hand corner, wasn't it, for that second half save? I've never been a fan, and when I'm coaching players in goal, I've never been a fan of a keeper parrying away. If you can try and catch the ball,
it was poor, wasn't it? It was poor.
The gloves are so sticky now. You should be able to hold it, but I'm just being long in the tooth about that, I guess. If the 2 saves he did make, obviously one he dived to his left high and wide, and that went out for a corner. The other one was parried across, that was eventually picked up, I think, by Moreno on that left hand side there. So that was they were good saves. I think the advantage he's got over Sells, and I agree with you, Dore, I think he's still not quite got the shirt over Sells for me, because there's still a few things that he'll need to work on. But opportunities like that last night would have given him huge confidence. I think the benefits he's got over Sells now is his height, is his ability to cover his top corners, and he did that really well last night. I could see, unfortunately, I wasn't there last night. I had to be in London early this morning, so I couldn't travel up. But I did see in the way that Sky was showing, obviously the close-ups that you may not have seen from where you were, it was very obvious that he was talking with Bolly, who delighted he was captain last night, by the way. No doubt we'll talk about Bolly later. He was talking with Bolly and was really in some sort of, I'm not sure whether he was using English, it did look like he was really commanding that and telling his back four what he wanted, which was really positive for me. I think that as a leader back there is a real strength. And his ability to pick up high balls. I think there was a cross or a corner that he just, arms, heads and shoulders above anyone else and just plucked it out the air. Really, really good. Obviously, what he then isn't able to do is to weave his way through those defenders and start to distribute that ball quickly, because he's obviously very one-footed and is still taking his time. There were a couple, weren't there, particularly in the first half, your end, or that were very flat as a out of his hand kick, and was only went about 30 yards or so. So that'll be something that he'll be working on. But again, I've talked about this and keepers a lot. They are coachable skills. They are things he can pick up, and with more gameplay and more training, he'll develop as a keeper, and he'll be a worthy keeper. I know we're looking at others. A Bournemouth keeper I'm hearing recently,
and Liverpool goalkeeper,
right? But I'm positive about him being the second keeper and be ready should we need him, whether through injury or illness or absence or whatever, for him to come in and be a worthy deputy for Sells. At the moment, he's not quite there for me, but he'll develop those skills, I'm sure.
People like, well, how's everyone feeling? Miguel to be first choice goalkeeper against Wolves? Yes or no? I'll put a poll up in a minute. I'm just going through the chat. Some guys popped up, and I don't know why he's popped up. Oh, but when he's kicked it, it's on his good feet. Have it. Yeah, he has got a massive kick on him, but I think he still needs. Yeah, go where he does. Fantastic save from Lewis Hall towards the end. I thought he had a good game. He did. I'd like two good saves. I don't really think he had much to do. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think as much, if I'm honest. David says, "Hi, Des. Can Ben can't afford you now? No, too much money." Considering it was the reserves against the first team, I think show good strength of depth. It is. And now we're out of the cup. We haven't got much less games playing, so I think it's important if one player comes out, then the next player comes in. Steve Cooper's reference, next man up. So it is what it is. Des says, Davey, locked in transfer talks. Des, you can head to what channel? He's on Newcastle channel. Des is going to Newcastle. Watch out for my Instagram posts tomorrow, because I'm going to have a bit of fun with that tomorrow. Peter says, hit the like, subscribe button, guys. It's free. Please hit the like button and subscribe as well. Make sure everyone subscribe to Rads. He's gone over the 6K, and you do Rads, so please get him to 7K. Please do. I know Rads, like myself, we've done it for a long time, so please help him. Please, it helps me a lot. Steve Brown, hope you're well, Steve. As well, he's been involved. I thought Scissor and Jota were good. Worked the socks off. We go agree in the game, even though he's grown, he's grown enough. He has as well, but yeah, he's one tall goalkeeper. I loved his passion when he saved. I don't know who was penalty saved him. Who was it? I don't know who it was. But he saved, and his celebrations at the end was amazing when he saved it. Another two more debuts. De Silva and Marino. Everyone knows my thoughts about the left back Spaniard. I still haven't forgive him for rejecting us 2 years ago. But what's the face for, Glenn?
Get over it.
No, I'm not forgiving him.
He's wearing a Garibaldi now, Dore. He played well. His throw-in was the assist for the goal.
I know.
He played well.
Glenn. I know.
Get over it.
Teacher Glenn.
Did he stand? Did he stand you up? Did he stand you up? Did he?
He stand me
Get
up.
over it.
No, right. You know what? This is not because he played fantastic for Betis. I was so excited, and then when he dropped down the Forest Green everything, and then when he put the announcement on his page, he's not coming. I was cheesed off, and then about a month later, was it? I don't think it was a season later, he joins Villa. That's what upset me. But now he's in the Forest top. He's got my full backing, and yes, he's got a good throw-in, and he's fantastic. And he did play well as well with Silva. That's what we're going to talk about. People in the chat. I just got told off by Glenn, teacher Glenn.
Not till Monday. I'm still on holiday.
Still on holiday, so it's just Glenn for now. So teacher Glenn back on Monday. People in the chat, how do you feel about them two? Right, how do you feel about them two players, man?
So who's this? Sorry, Miguel, is it? Or...
No,
Maria and Alex Marino.
Yeah, Alex Marino.
Oh right, yeah. I thought both of them. Again,
I'm
there's a big chance of both of them, wasn't it?
as well. He was fantastic as well. No back four. Who cares? The whole defense. Talk about it. Come on.
But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think all of them. I mean, obviously it was debut for Moreno. Me personally, I thought it was a very good signing because when he was at Villa, he had quite, from what Villa fans say, he had a good start for them, and then obviously he kind of dropped off. I think he had an injury. I don't think that helped him. But I was thinking maybe it's a bit unfortunate how it went for him there. And he's just left the club that been fighting at the top end of the table. So yeah, I was perfectly fine him coming in as an incredible backup, hopefully. And who knows, he could really push Ola Aina. Only for me, I'd still play Aina ahead of him right now anyway. But I thought Moreno played very well. I mean, towards the end, I remember he put in a very important block. I don't know who it was on, but yeah, I was impressed with him. Moreira, obviously a young lad, so I don't think any of us really knew like how we were going to use him, where we were going to use him. I mean, initially I thought he was meant to be a winger. We may even be just like a future prospect, but he seems to be a right back, and he's going to be used, which I like. Honestly, I like that. We're getting a bit distracted here.
Just read
This one. Who is that? Gillian Anderson. Who's that? I don't know who
she's in. She's in the Dream Bed advert at the moment. She was in an late 80s, early 90s American show.
And how old is she now?
Gillian Anderson. She's older than me, Dore.
Right, Dave. Dave, this is an inside out with me, Dave. I'm thinking right now, Dave, what's happening? Dave will understand. Dave, please don't. Come on, Dave. Dave, if you want a through ball, I'll give you the through ball. But come on, Dave understands what through ball means. But come on. Sorry, let's get back to the football. Ignore what Dave said about Gillian Anderson, whoever her name is. Sorry, Rads.
Yeah, I'm just going to move swiftly on from that. Yeah, Moreira. Yeah, I thought he did well, and I think we got a good option there behind Nico. And yeah, I think obviously it's only one game, but I thought he looked very lively on the right, so which is it's good. I was pleased to see Amabadadeli get a go because I think every time he plays, I think he's really solid. I think Murillo and Bolly are ahead of him, and Milenkovic is very unfortunate for him, really. But I think we've got a really good centre back there, and if we have to play him even for a few games in a row, then I generally haven't got a problem with that. Just really commands the back line well. He's not afraid to take risks. I just think he's a really good player. So it's good to see players like him get a go, as well as the new lads. So yeah, obviously, I think we've done a good job really of that area of the pitch. We've got four very good centre backs, and giving Sachapa a go as well, which I think he did well actually under the circumstances. It was obviously a tough game for him to come into. And the fullbacks, I think that's looking quite good now as well. So yeah, I think squad depth is probably the strongest it's been for a while.
I'm just going to give it a comment. I think David backtracked what his comment was with all that.
Extensible.
The brain come on excuses for it's discreet. Welcome, Alex Munoz. I think that Sorry, Dave. Sorry, yeah, I think that's literally a dig on me. See, man, so really looks class at for 18 and looks so comfortable on the ball, 100%. X-Files, that's who she. Why? How do I not know she's from X-Files? Yeah, I remember who she is now. This has Kieran Silver, a little robot. 40 he was live wire, helped create energy for the team, 100%. I loved it. It reminded me of Jed Spence a little bit, but yeah, I know that. Then backtrack. Actually, scratch that. Viv Anderson is great. It's the greatest Anderson, 100%. 100%. There's is Pamela Anderson. Oh, days, well, unbelievable. I don't know. I don't think Brad knows who Pamela Anderson is. Do you know who she is?
I'm not really.
Well, Brad's dad will definitely know who Paul Anderson is. But that's his age now. He is. And then Dan says, Glenn Harcourt, that's good. You have to say it twice. What's that mean? Steve had straight kind of game though. It was felt of first team players coming off the bench, kind of just put to the team. It was weird kind of way of the team that who started it. It was. Let's talk about Abbott. We'll talk about Abbott, a player that come from academy, and I spoke to, I think it was Dave, and it was there wasn't a player that was coming out of the academy because we've seen loads play like Mighton, and then Mighton's leaving soon. He's going to America, as I heard. Abbott, let's talk about Abbott, Glenn. I know he's 18. Like I said, I thought he was fantastic. He showed his inexperience sometimes, but at the same time, he's a future. He's passing as well from the back. He is a future. I think Manu will link with him, but he's signed a contract. But he is a future in it, Forest.
Yeah, real deal. I think the way a player like that needs to be bedded in within a Premier League team, arguably it would be maybe better for him if we weren't in the Premier League. Ironically, it would probably give him a bit more game time. But the benefit to be in a Premier League side, obviously, it gives him ability to train every day with the players that he's trying to emulate. And there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than learning those skills from those what will hopefully be future internationals. It's if he wants to be there, that's the thing he's going to need to develop. It's really interesting. Just before the Bournemouth game, I forget the name of the previous Forest player who was the guest of honour, but he was a Lincoln Town player, and it was really clear in the excellent video that the club put out about how much Ryan Yates and him seem to be working together, and they very much seems like Ryan Yates has got, even though he's not in that position as the position that he's in as a leader in the club, very much seems to be putting his arm around him and helping him and giving him all those things that, whether Ryan got them or Ryan was given those experiences as a younger pro, or perhaps things that Ryan would have benefited from doing. And it's really good that that's something that they see the potential on and off the pitch as for Zach Abbott. I think you're right, Dore. I think at certain situations last night, it showed his inexperience.
Yeah.
But early on, it was clear that equally Omobamidele and Bolly and Anderson were all playing sort of just off his shoulder, just square balls, and he was doing everything right. I don't think on our WhatsApp chat that we have, I was speaking to a few other people about how much he was making those really good decisions, and that's what he needs to do with the support of other players around him. And then later on in the game, you could see towards the end of the first half, he wasn't playing those shorter balls. He was looking to play, like you were saying about his passing. He was playing through the lines and actually starting to show a little bit more of himself. And that was really good to see. And the more he does that, the more Zach Abbott would benefit from being a player as a supporting role in matches in training, and also in the under 23s, etc., and also with developing his experience as a first team player. So all of those experiences, it's just a shame, actually, ironically, had we gone through and played whoever it is in the next round, Zach Abbott would have had another opportunity to play as a first team player, and that would have benefited him probably more than it would have been for us to see Sousa play again, for example. I think it would have been a real opportunity for him to grow, and whether it be another game at City Ground or elsewhere. So that's probably the little bit of disappointment for me that we didn't go through, is it didn't give those sorts of fringe players that are also younger players, inexperienced players, that other opportunity to play for Forest. But on last night's performance, didn't really make many errors. When he did, he was right back in it and trying to get the ball back again. There was one in the second half. I think he just made a little lazy pass. But overall, over the performance of 90 minutes, yeah, really, really pleased with the way. I'm sure he immensely proud of the way he played last night. Yeah, really good.
People, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Make sure everyone subscribes to Raz. The link is in the description as well. Right, we've had this debate about the number 6 as well, and when I seen the lineup and I thought, who's playing where and blah blah blah. Raz, Dominguez, and people in the chat and Des will have an argument with this. Dominguez, how do you feel about it when he played as number 6? Like I said, he did well, but I still don't think he is that player like Sangare or Ryan Yates, blah blah. But he did well. But for me, he's not number 6 going forward. But what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a number 6 either. I mean, he's a completely different sort of player to Sangara and Yates. Brings a lot more energy and flair, I think, to the team. And he's somebody at times, even this season, we've played out wide. So I don't think somebody who's going to be like this staple number 6, as good as that is, that they can be versatile. I think, you're not going to get Sangara playing further forward in the same way that Dominguez can, just simply because of how they are as players. So I like Dominguez. I think he's a very good option for us to have, and it just emphasises the squad depth we've got now, that we can have someone like him and like not be a guaranteed player to play all the time, and someone I think we can certainly trust to make a difference off the bench and probably start the odd game as well. So that's another reason, as Glenn said, it's getting knocked out. It's sad that we're not going to see maybe players like Dominguez get more starts if we had a couple more rounds in the cup. So that's a shame, really. But obviously, I'm sure we'll get opportunities in the league as we go on. But yeah, I don't think Dominguez is a 6 to answer the question, but I do like him as a player for sure. And he's just another good option for us, really, isn't he?
I was doing a massive shout out to JT Geezer, Leeds fan. I know we've not played Leeds for quite a while, JT, but hopefully see you soon in 10 years' time, and hopefully Leeds fall apart as well. So shout out to JT, live top guy. He's on the big channels as well. So shout out to JT as well. I'm still going to go for the as well. Again, there's another argument for Dead. Dominguez is not a number 6 as well. People still going for Jimmy Anderson. Bloody hell! What about Paul Anderson? People, how can people forget about Paul Anderson? He played well. It was under Billy Davis, I think it was. Was it Billy Davis? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Don't know if it was. Yeah, it was. Paul Anderson. I can forget about Paul Anderson. Right. Taiwo. And let's put it together with Taiwo, Ward, and getting a striker because we fit it all in one. His penalty was awful. But on the pitch, again, you can tell. You can tell we can all complain about he's not match fit, blah, blah, blah. But Glenn, do you think we need to get rid of Taiwo? Because he's not cutting it for me. Well, what's your opinion? As well, people in the chat as well. What's your opinion on Taiwo? Because we're having the debate over and over again. So, Glenn, what's your opinion on Taiwo?
Taiwo scores top right, and we win. Would we be having this conversation?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. The player, the keeper Pope, who should have saved one or two of ours, was already diving to his left. Had Taiwo taken that extra little step, and there's there's so many, and I'll get to the answer to the question. There's so many people I've seen on various social media and in WhatsApps and stuff who knew as soon as he stepped over that halfway line that he was going to miss. I'm not that sure. Positives about Taiwo last night is he played 90 minutes. What he didn't look like for me, regardless of whether he hit the target or not. And I'd say, answer your question, Alan, I live in Brockley. I know you work relatively nearby. So if you want to let me have that ball back, I'll I'll bring it back up. Taiwo played the full 90 minutes. He didn't look very sharp. There were situations where he's still running like he's wearing wellies. And that's, as an athlete, as a sprinter, that's really strange for me, because he was playing and looking like, certainly against Bournemouth, looking like he was really sharp. It was obviously clear that in the last quarter, the last 20 minutes, he probably needed Wood to come on. And there's been some criticism about why Wood didn't come on. Wood would have scored that penalty, etc., etc. I think if it wasn't for bookings in midfield and all of these players we've talked about, even Zach Abbott got booked. Cheers, Boyd. Even Zach Abbott got booked. So it's obviously the decision that they made to bring off players perhaps who were on a booking rather than switching Taiwo over, although it was beneficial for him to have a full 90 minutes. Taiwo didn't look as sharp as he could have done. Right in front of you, Dore, that ball crossed through Meg 2 and past one Newcastle defender for Taiwo to tap it on his right foot, and Taiwo of last season would have turned and shot and scored. He just didn't have that last critical edge that a 9 needs. Do we get rid of him for that and for missing the penalty? I don't know. I think if it's the difference between bringing in a 28 million pound player and that's collateral on that, paid down payments or whatever, then if that's what needs to happen, I'll sadly see him go and remember the first goal that we scored in the Premier League back in August 2022 against West Ham fondly, and the goal against Liverpool and the goal against Arsenal. Remember that goal. But if it's the difference between not needing to get rid of him and having a third striker, that would be my preference, because I think he's so close to being nearly ready, particularly if, and I'm not one for the we desperately, please have a go at me in the comments. I don't think we desperately need to throw 20+ million at anybody just because they happen to play as a number 9 and have got some decent looking figures in a league around the world that's not the Premier League. There's plenty of opportunities, and I've heard this in podcasts and conversations I've had with people today. There's plenty of opportunities to bring in someone in January. We don't need to rush to this. If Taiwo is something that we can develop and use just as we did with him and Surridge back in the day, then I would be happy to keep that as a balance and develop that sharpness. Remember, the shop window that we see as Taiwo playing, whether he starts or not, will only help him in the long run in terms of developing and moving on. And us getting a fee for him, I don't think we'll get what we paid for him right now if we sold him. So him playing and actually having an opportunity to score or get involved with goals has to be a benefit for the club, for the Wood, for Wood and other forwards, and also Taiwo and his family. So I wouldn't panic in rushing to get him out the door to bring someone else in that's not trusted, or proven, I should say, not trusted. And we can wait until January. It's not essential. I think that would be my opinion on that.
I know we're linked with the Frankfurt striker. I don't know. I can't pronounce his name now. I don't know if Raz, do you know, or Glenn, do you know how to pronounce it? That guy's name.
It's Momesh, is it?
Momesh, yes. Like I've seen his record. He scored 15 goals last season or whatever it is. 20 million. It was on John Percy's account. I don't know, people. What's everyone's opinion on it? Like, I don't know. What's your opinion on it, Rads? And again, people get involved. Before we do it, I'm a shout out to Dougie. Hi, Ben. Are you heading down for the 14th? I'll be there. So might see you. Am I going to be there? Des has replied to you. We'll all be there. We're all going to be there. So Dougie will definitely be there. So if you want to message me before the match and we'll do a content together, please do. Get Rads on as well. He's a content creator. Holler at Rads as well if I can't do it. Or you can get Des, or you can get Glenn, or you can get anyone. Anyone, please do. But shout out to Dougie Mitchell. Everyone subscribe to his channel. And as well, Dave as well. Don't forget Dave Asprey, absolutely legend as well. Dave, Rads, striker, what's your opinion on Tower, or do you think Forest need to like Glenn says, don't rush it. Like if you don't get one in January.
Yeah, it's very much in that. Well, it's literally dead on day tomorrow, isn't
desperate,
it?
Rads? Do you think we're desperate?
I think
so glad you did
yeah.
answer this
We're all
question.
desperate. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
No one got what's his name? What's his name? I can't remember Mexican's name.
Jimenez.
Jimenez. Now we've not got him. It feels like it's desperate.
Yeah, I think we we had so much faith in getting Jimenez or Nketiah that I feel we did have options other than them, but I feel maybe we didn't expect either of them to collapse like they did, especially Jimenez. We were searching for him for a while, weren't we? So, it does. I mean, look how many strikers have been linked with since Jimenez rejected us. It's crazy. So, this Frankfurt guy does seem to be the main one and the only one I think we're going to get if we're going to get a striker. I don't want to be ignorant to football outside of England, but I don't know much about him at all. But his record looks pretty impressive. But again, I do think it is desperate at this stage if you're throwing any sort of money like that around on any player, unless it's been going on for a while and you just happen to get it done this late, then fine. But a player that we weren't even linked with until a few days, even yesterday, I think it's like,
yesterday.
It's like, it does feel like panic buy at this stage. And, if Taiwo was fit and banging in goals, just like Wood is, and I know Wood has his problems with fitness at times and he's older than Awani, and that's a shame, really. Even though I think Wood is still a really important player for us. If we have them both guaranteed fit, like even 90%, 80% of the time, I don't think we'd be as desperate for a striker, especially when I'm pretty sure Jota Silva can play down the middle if he needs to. I think he has played there. So it's not like we haven't got anyone else that can play as a striker. So if we don't get someone, I think it is a bit of a concern. But I don't think it's like we're going to be in a relegation battle just because of that. It's clearly not the way we've played already without a third striker. But I do think it would definitely take us to another level if we could just get somebody else in just to, take a bit of pressure off Wood and, in a way, Awani, because he probably doesn't have to hurry as much to get fit. But then obviously he's going to be maybe pushed out the team a bit. So, with Taiwo, I think it's a real shame with him because obviously we know how big he's been for us, how many goals he's scored. But it's the whole time he's been with Forest, he's just not been able to stay fit enough, which is really sad. Because if he was always fit, then he'd probably be the first striker on the team sheet every week. No disrespect to Woody at all. So if they were both guaranteed to be playing, would we be desperate? But not at all, in my opinion. But I just think, particularly because of Tyro's fitness, I think that's why Forest are genuinely quite desperate for somebody. And I can see why, but I also get the argument of, well, okay, we really want somebody, but is it just best to just wait at this stage and just, properly research who we want to get and just go for somebody in the January window instead? Maybe that might be better, but we've got to obviously survive without somebody for a few months. So that's it's a tough one at this stage, isn't it? We either get somebody at last minute or we hold out for a bit. So.
Actually, what about Bats? Was it the Belgian striker? But actually, what we need? Do we need him?
What about Dwight Gale?
Dwight Gale. So then kind of players as well. Let's go for the comments as well. And this is from Davey. After last night, I agree with Glenn. But January is costly time to buy if we're in trouble, definitely. And that's been measuring it as well. Steve said, my big concern is that if we don't sign another striker, is that we don't have faith in Taiwo getting into the game by January. Yeah, that's 100%. Just says, I think the owner is desperate to take the team forward quicker than it's currently happening. He wants the clinical edge, 100%. And Fred says, Raz, we were linked with Marcus last year. Was we?
We've been looking at him for about a year, 18 months.
Oh,
I think that's why he's now appeared on our list, probably sixth or seventh down, based on others that have either had some interest and then realised or that they didn't want to come to England or else other things. So yeah, mean, Andreas Pereira still being muted around and all this.
Yeah, I think.
Crazy.
No, what we'll do with people before we do talk about transfers. In the comments, who was your man of the match yesterday? Before we do talk about the transfer project, because like I said, tomorrow's the last day. Rice is doing a channel at the transfer deadline, so make sure you do watch that as well.
Yeah.
Man of the match, people in the comments as well. Who was your man of the match? We're not going to do ratings, just man of the match. We'll start with you, Glenn. Who was your man of the match yesterday?
I was delighted that Jota got the man of the match from the sponsor. I would have gone with him. I think his impact for the goal and his energy, his busyness, his terrier-like performance is worthy of man of the match. I think that's something that overexcited kid on Christmas Day that he looked like a little bit with his new toy might get a little bit challenging, particularly if he's going to get booked every other week. But no, he played extremely well for his first performance and was worthy for that goal. I think he took his goal really well, waited for that ball to bounce and didn't lash at it and struck at it really well. And it's really clear when he was running over towards Elanga and the other boys that solidity that the team has got is a real positive already. I think the gaffers have talked today, hasn't he, in press conferences, saying how pleased he is that those existing players have developed and brought those new players in. And he seems to be very happy from the conversation he had with Colin Fray last night after the match to be in England and playing for Forest, and was worthy for man of the match for me.
Before we do get Rads, shout out to Nottingham Forest ladies. They won 6-0 against Notts County. So well done to Nottingham Forest ladies as well. If you've not seen the women's vlog, I did that with my daughter. Please go and watch that as well. But they won 6-0 as well. But shout out to the Forest ladies for winning 6-0. Rads, who was your man of the match? There's loads of people saying, before they've got say, Dad says Anderson by a mile. Prez says Jota. Steve Brown says was Jota and Anderson were outstanding. Razdad says Jota and Anderson. Brilliant. There's two people saying Anderson. Anderson man of the match for me. Anderson man of the match for me. Great passing performance. Dave Anderson took control of the midfield away from his former mates as well. Yes, 100%. Rads, who's your man of the match?
I'm following a similar theme to everybody else, honestly. I think there's a lot of players I could say, but probably Jota or Anderson. I'd probably lean towards Jota just because of that goal. I just thought it was that good. And not just that. I just think in terms of the way he it's his first game in English football, really. So to come in and do what he did, not just score, but the way he played was really good. And again, it's just nice to see us have a bit of depth there now and have options on the wing. And obviously, Elliot Anderson, is somebody I'm really excited to see play more this season. Really just looks like a really cultured player and someone we can play in a few roles as well, which is good. So, for sure. I think either of those two. Shout out to Moreira as well. I thought he did well. I was impressed with Omar Baradelli as well, to be honest. I'd mention him. I think the whole team played well, really.
I think the whole team played great, if I'm honest. Yeah. I think it's just we could be harsh on the other 10 players. Like, I was about to say 11, if I'm honest. I was about to say 11, but yeah. But I'm being greedy on that. I'm being greedy. So what was yours? Silver. Silver was yours, Raj, yeah?
Yeah, I'll go Silver, yeah.
Yeah. I'll say all of them. I can't say all of them. I think everyone played well. I'm a Bombadilli as well. I've always liked I'm a Bombadilli, so I think he played well. Even Bolly. I was surprised Bolly played. I don't know if you was as well, Rad. Bolly played more on the right hand side. I'm a Bombadilli was in the middle three. So for him that as well. Yeah. So I'm happy with that. This is my PE teacher York up the Chelsea. Is that is that you, Glenn?
Might be. Evening, Arthur. How are you? How was your summer? Hope your GCSEs went well.
No, dude, Arthur, leave him alone. He's back next week, Arthur. You might get detention now. Stop it, Glenn. Anton Perez stays at Fulham from.
Just reporting what I'm reading, Alan. Nothing confirmed yet. I'm going to Chelsea, apparently.
He is going to Chelsea. Yeah. Detention for the Chelsea fan. Oh, Arthur, you're in big trouble, Arthur. Very big trouble. But actually, I'm going to say my man of the match has got to be. I say all of them. I'm going to say all of them. Everyone played well as well. To me, like, yeah, it is what it is. Right, we've got another 9 minutes. We've got a little fun before we do go. I've seen another player. We had this debate as well on other podcasts regarding Ward-Prowse and all that. Another good player, talented. Let me ask you, Glenn. Ward-Prowse, people in the chat as well. Yes or no?
Yes, but obviously we've got priorities. If we pass up on this opportunity to bring in a player like Ward-Prowse, it would obviously benefit another team that we would eventually play. So if we've got an opportunity to bring him in, and he's got it gives us a lot more than some might think he does in terms of that set piece delivery. Although arguably last night we found someone else who could fit those bills, but no, he's a quality player who's got bags of experience in a league that we're trying to claw our way higher and higher into, and there's only positives for me. Financially, there would be the only difficulty, and as we've found out in the last 5 or 6 days, persuading players to come to Nottingham from abroad and to persuade players to come from inside the M25 up to NG2 is proving to be difficult and would be costly. That would be my only concern about Ward-Prowse. But if he's out of favour at West Ham and wants to continue playing and sees us as being a team that he can do that in, then yeah, I'd open arms, bring him in. He's obviously caused us no end of concerns when we've played against them at West Ham in the last couple of seasons, Dore. And yeah, that record is beckoning for him in terms of set pieces, breaking David Beckham's record. I'd love to see him do it in a Garibaldi.
Yeah, 100%. When I saw the link, I said, shout out to Lawless. West Ham fans have had enough of him. That's what he's saying. And him being at Nottingham Forest with our set pieces record, I'd love to have him. So, Forest fans, what do you think? Do you think you want to yes or no? I've seen another one, got a link with Forest. Turner exchange deal.
I just love the fact we tried it. I don't know how much they offered. Turner. How much would it been? Turner and 50 quid. Is it?
No, it's
the audacity of that is so incredible.
Absolutely brilliant.
I looked at it, I was like, what? That's cheeky.
Does everyone know what we're talking about, by the way?
Yeah. Forest made a bid for it's Kellingham, from Liverpool.
Yeah.
We made a bid for 25 million and we put Turner in that deal. I just still rejected it. What if we just buy Kellingham? Maybe they'll accept it, but Turner in it. Oh, that's embarrassing. Rads, what are you? What do you think about it, Rads?
I just think Turner comes to Forest and he's not continuously terrible, but he's quite bad. Let's just say that, and then he ends up at Liverpool. I just think the cheek of us to actually include him in that deal is so good. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's why Liverpool rejected it, purely because of Turner and the deal.
I think after we lost 3-0, that mistake he did, the third goal, they looked at the archives and thought, nah, that's not happening.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like we do what Des just said. Ford got where I did go to Newcastle. They thought they'd try it again. This is crazy, but it's going to be like any more transfer costs. Have I missed that today? Rads or Glenn? Do you know? I've been at work. I know we've been.
I'm trying to see.
People in the chat, have I missed anything? Any more transfer gossip? I know Dave was.
Oh yeah, there is one. There is one.
What's the one, Dave? Glenn? I just don't like. There's just tomorrow's gonna be crazy. Like I know your channel tomorrow rise is gonna be crazy with all the people in the chat as well. How many players do you think will leave? I know I'm definitely knowing that Alex Martin's going to America tomorrow as well. Shout out to quick price news for that. Tell me about that. Like he's definitely going to America. I thought he's going to learn to Denmark somewhere, but then they're going to start being in the American League. But I'm all right. Before we go, and people in the chat, how many players do you think will Forest bring in tomorrow? We'll start with you, Rad. How many players do you think we'll bring in? And try get involved. 37 people and get involved. How many players do you think will bring in? Come on.
I hope it's a dignified amount, but I just have a feeling that it's Forest, so we may very well sign like a lot. So in reality, I don't think we will go as crazy as we have. So I'll say 2. I think we're going to sign a striker and then sign somebody maybe out of the blue, or maybe get somebody like Ward-Prowse maybe, which would be amazing. So yeah.
Dave says 2. Pro pass my merch. Des says 1. Glenn, how many do you think we'll bring in tomorrow?
2 in, and I think more than that will leave. I think there'll be 3 that will go. Mighton may well be involved with that.
No, mine's definitely gone. But yeah, I think I'll say 2. I'll say 2. You know, I see the transfer gossip just going crazy on social media, but I'll say 2. Right. It's been a great show, people. Like I said, always have a good positive. Like we did lose, but lots of positive to go towards Wolves. Before we go, let me get everyone's prediction for Wolves game, because I might come on. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I know that Raz is on tomorrow, so I'll let Raz do his live stream tomorrow. I might pop in and show my face. People in the chat, what's everyone's score prediction for the Wolves game? What's yours, Raz?
Well, I think based off how Wolves played at the weekend, it should be a game where we're absolutely trying to win. But I do also feel it could be quite dangerous that playing a team that lost so heavily, which I don't think are as bad as what that suggested, because they were actually in that game quite well at one stage, and then it just got completely away from them. But you know, historically against Wolves, since we've been back in the Prem, it's not been easy. I think we've drawn every single time. So if we could get a win this time, it'd be nice, especially with it being the Morgan Gibbs White derby.
I forgot about congratulations to Morgan Gibbs White for the England call. I forgot Morgan Gibbs White. Amazing. Forgot about Morgan. How can I forget about Morgan Gibbs White? Of all things, Morgan Gibbs White, well deserved. And Wolves fans, he's laughing at you now for all the things they said about him. Now he's England international. Shame on you.
He did that, weren't he?
Shame on you. But yeah, well done, Morgan Gibbs White. What's score prediction, Raz?
I still think it'd be quite a close one, but I think we can do it. You know, I think 7 points from 9 would be an unbelievable start for us. I'd take anything, honestly, in our favour. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Forest.
Glenn, what's your score prediction?
I agree with you, Ads. I think it'd be one goal in it, and I'd like to see Matt Sells have another clean sheet. 1-0 Forest.
We always draw though. We always draw against Wolves at home though. That's my issue, man. We always draw against them. I hate playing Wolves at home. And Des for Morgan Gibbs White, and I still question what he does for us. Muppets. Yeah. I mean, Des, I hope that's not. I like Morgan Gibbs White. I need to do a step level, and now he's got England call up. Let's get him better. He's got that. You have that confidence to be around better players. So hopefully he comes back after international duty as a better player. Right. It's been a great show, people. Hour mark, bang on. Rads, Glenn, it's been a pleasure for coming on the channel. What time do you start tomorrow, Rads?
7 o'clock. 7
o'clock. And who have you got on?
I've got this man here, Glenn, and I've got Elliot as well. He's on a lot of my vlogs. So
Okay.
yeah, stay tuned. Really,
Yeah.
do similar things to this, I'm sure, and probably
Yes.
signed a few players by then. So yeah,
Yeah. So I'll put his link in the description, people, so people can get to Rad's channel and watch it as well. It's good fun. I might do some few videos as well tomorrow. So how long are you on for, Rad? Tomorrow? How long are you on for? Till 11.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh,
7
right.
to 11.
I'm contractually obligated to do an hour. We'll see how it goes after that.
As well, I just thought I'd put breaking news. Des Oldham is heading to Newcastle on a free transfer. So people in the chat say bad to Des as well. Yeah, he's leaving without blessers. So Des Oldham, breaking news, has left Nottingham Forest for Newcastle on a free transfer.
It's so much potential, though. That's the thing.
So much potential with Des, but he's the cutting edge. He didn't have it. He didn't have it. It is what it is. Right, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, as well. Like, watch out for my socials. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. I might involve Glenn and Raz with this, and people as well. But last one, Raz, I'm afraid I'm a free agent these days. The deal can be scrapped.
Who knows what can happen in the transfer market?
Anything can happen in the transfer window. But like I said, people, watch out for my socials. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun tomorrow with gossip. Might people off about it, but and a little to it. But people, whatever we speak about in this podcast, in the description, in the comments as well, get involved. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Like I said, I might do a live stream whenever as well. Before we do, again, Mark, how you doing, friend? Mark, I hope you're well, my friend. Yeah, it is what it is. But I'll do a few videos tomorrow on whoever we sign. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for taking part. Make sure you watch out for Rad's channel tomorrow. Peace and love. Up the forest.